Hello, welcome to another video. In this tutorial, I will walk you through how to set up content grouping in Microsoft Clarity. Spoiler alert, this is not a new feature in Microsoft Clarity. It has been in existence since the launch of Clarity. What was just missing is the measurement creativity. What is content grouping? If you're familiar with Google Analytics, then you know what content grouping is. It's just about you grouping your website content or your app content into a logical structure that reflects how you think of your site. So, for example, an e-commerce site might probably have their website content broken down into product page, collection page, home page, cart page, checkout page, blog post. Why a new site like CNN or Arise TV can probably have their content broken down to politics, finance, climate, sports, security, health, agriculture, tourism, blah blah blah. Then why for an health site they might probably have their content broken down into groups like homepage, the practitioner bios, the blog post, the treatment, the research, the location, the generic page. Once you have to know that a website can have more than one model groups, which has content group in them, right? So it depends on how you want to view the content of your site. So, for example, you might have a page type, which is just like the general architecture of your site. So, an e-commerce, for example, might have a page type whereby they categorize their website into home page, product cart, checkout, store, generic page, services, blog post. Then they can also have another content group also, specifically for looking at how their content is performing, right? Trying to measure the impact of their content, the marketing strategy. So they might have one for blog, product reviews, DIY, tips and tricks. And they can also decide to have another model group called product collection with content groups such as headwear, gloves, neckwear, backpack, right? So you can have more than one model group. It depends on how you want to, how you think of your site and how you tend to bucket it, right? So, for example, an outdoor company might probably have a model group with page type, which is the web overview. They can also have one which is the content overview, specifically used for analyzing or grouping their content, into different structures. For example, budgeting, tips and tricks, product reviews, how-tos, form videos. And they can also have one for generic architecture of their site, which is like product page, the collection page, just like a normal e-commerce store would do. But how do we implement this in Microsoft Clarity? We'll be using what we call custom tags. Custom tags allows you to kind of give more information to page. It's mostly used for pages, trying to label a particular page or trying to label a particular page on the site. Sometimes you can also use that for conversion. It's just trying to be creative in a way. It works. It's something that we've tested and it really makes a lot of sense. So, but what does the custom tag Microsoft Clarity script looks like? It looks like something like this: very simple code, just one line code with clarity, set, key, then value. Now the key is the tag name that identifies the kind of information you are sending. So just see the key as the model group. So the key can be page type, it can be product collection, it can be content category, right? Then why the value is the content groups itself. So for example, for page type, we might have the cart, the checkout, the home page, the product page. Why for the content category, you might have things like your how-tos, your tips and tricks, your reviews, your DIYs, etc. But there are a few things you have to know about custom tags, right? Custom tags are not retroactive. There's no limit of number of custom tags you can apply on a particular project. So Microsoft Clarity is divided into projects. In your account, you can have multiple projects under a particular Microsoft Clarity account. So account is your own account, not necessarily a business account, right? So then also custom tag and its value should not be longer than 255 characters. Both the tag name and the value itself should be more than 25 characters individually. Then it should be applied after the Clarity tracking script has loaded on the page. If you apply it before the Clarity tracking script, then it won't be picked up by Microsoft Clarity and won't be reported in your dashboard. So a single page can have no more than 128 tags, which is really impossible for a page to have up to that number of tags. And any number of text after 128 tags will be ignored, and the tags can be any alphanumeric value. So it shouldn't be stringent, right? It can be alphanumeric, alphabets, numbers, symbols, space, etc. But this is what the tag that will be the code that will be using in GTM looks like. So the page type is the mother group, and your variable is what's going to be changing. So when you're on the home page, it's going to say home page. If you're on the product collection, it's going to say product collection. If you're in the blog post, it's going to say blog post, right? But in this video, I will expose you to I'll show you a Gtm custom template that makes the process very, very easy. It makes applying custom tags very, very easy. And rather than making use of code, you probably make use of the custom template. But in this tutorial, first, I will show you how to make use of the code part so that you understand the basics of Microsoft Clarity. Then, while in your implementation, you can probably make use of the custom template. But how do you group your content, right? How do you group this content, which is the big question? Because you have to first group before you can send the data into Microsoft Clarity. There are two methods. The first one is using data layer, and this is what data layer code looks like. So it fires. You have to ask your developer to fire the code every time someone visits a page on your site. So the event name will be page load, but the page type value will have to be dynamic, right, based on where you are on the website. So this is what the code looks like, right? This is what it looks like. Then this has to be changed every time a user navigates to different page. So you can see on this site, right? On the site, you can see on this site, this is a demo site that will built just to explain the content grouping stuff to you, so you can get familiar with what content grouping is, right? So you can see that currently the website have it has no data layer being pushed in. If I visit other pages, for example, I visit the store page, nothing gets sent, right? Nothing gets sent on the site. If I visit the product page, for example, I visit the product page right now, just GTM that we are triggering, nothing else gets sent. But now if I implement this my data layer right now, for example, I'm taking the role of a developer here right now, and I'm implementing this on a WordPress site. You can see the WordPress site, right? I'm implementing that on the WordPress site. If I start navigating now, currently you see no data layer here. But if I reload now, I've implemented my data layer right now. And if I implement now, you can see the page load. Then it says product, right? Now if I visit on that page, it's going to say home page. Now you're going to see home page. Now you can see saying home page. If I visit the collection page, which is the plants, for example, right now, as you can see, now it's going to say category, collection, collection. So you can see. So if I should visit the cart, which is here right now, it's going to say cart page. So you can see it said cart, right? So that is just what the data layer does. So what you have to do next, you have to click on your data layer. You have to copy the key, which is page type here, and then you go to GTM. You create a variable. Then you name the variable, give it a name. You paste it right now. You can see DLV. Let me just now. If I should preview right now, if I should preview on this site, now if I should preview, should start pulling in. As you can see, start pulling in GTM right now. So you can see it right now. It says what? It says home page, right? So if I should visit other pages, it should start showing also. For example, if I visit the collection page right now, through this place, I should visit characters, which is a collection page on my demo plant store. It says collection, right? So it says collection. So that's one way to do that. But the beauty about this stuff is, if you are using tools like, for example, you're using WordPress, GTM4 WP by Thomas Geiger, makes it very, very easy. You don't have to implement this data layer again. It already has that information for you to make use of in GTM. Same thing with Shopify. If you're using Shopify and Deliver, it also has that information available for you in data layer for you to use in your GTM. Then also BigCommerce also has that information for you to also use in your GTM. Same thing with Magento and Scandi Web Extension, plus other data layer extension, they also have that information for you to use in GTM. So you don't have to go the extra step of asking your developer to implement that data layer code. So due to my site is built on WordPress, then I have the Thomas Geiger plugin on my site here. I have the Thomas Geiger plugin on the site, as you can see. All I have to just is activate it, then everything starts flowing back. Now it's activated, and let me activate it fully, right? So let me activate that fully, then everything should be fine. Now if I should reload it right now, currently this is what you just see currently right now. You start another e-commerce data layer, including the GTM, the plugins page type data layer. Now you can see if I should load this right now, it's taking time to load. Now you can see the data here. It has that stuff called page post type front page, right? So if I should visit the plant, it has that same stuff called the page post, so you can see it product, right? So one thing about this, I noticed about this data layer page type categorizing is that it's not that perfect, right? For example, you can see that we are on the collection page for plants, but it's returning it's returning product as the page type. Actually, when this is already returning collection as the content group. So the next grouping methodology I'm going to show to you is what we call is leveraging the power of GTM, leveraging GTM regex variable, the regex table variable. It makes the process very, very easy for you to kind of group your website content, right? So the GTM regex variable also can help you solve the issue of accuracy, right? When your data layer from your plugin is not giving you the accurate page grouping, you can probably leverage GTM regex table variable without even involving the developer. But you have to use it only when there's a logical structure on your site. So let me show you something. So for example, you can see that on this page here, it says product category. This is how I can easily identify that, oh, I'm in the collection page, right? Then if I'm in the product page, it says product. So you can see it says product, right? So, but how do we do this in GT, in Google Tag Manager? You go to variables, right? Go to variables. When you go to variables, you go to variables, then I think I already have one created here, right? So I already have one created here for previously. So you can see it's just an easy variable to select. You select your regex variable here, regex table, right? Select that. Then you select the page part as the input variable, and you put in your patterns. For this is my home page. You can also decide to also make it on the URL, page URL. But for this scenario, I'm making it of the page part. So I want home page to always return home page, but you have to know a little bit of regex for you to leverage these tactics, right? So you use checkout. For cart page, you should return cart. For store page, you return store. For product category, you should return collection. For product, you should return product. For my account, you return account. Then for other pages that does not fall into any of these, it should return generic page, right? So this is what then happens. If I should preview now, let me show you. The name is regex table page type. If I should preview right now, what then happens is that you start seeing the grouping. So let me show you. It's a very quick thing to do. You start seeing the grouping in your. So let me show you right now. So you can start seeing the grouping. Now, if I should visit any of this page here, then go to the regex. You see, it says home page. Now, if I should navigate to the store, it's going to say store, right? It's going to say store. It says store. If I should navigate to the plants page, which is the product category, which is the collection, right? It's going to say collection. Now you can see it's going to say collection. So this is another method I can use to group your website. But how do you implement this stuff in Microsoft Clarity? So all you have to just do is you have to ensure that you have your Microsoft Clarity tracking script implemented already on your site, which is what I have here. I have the code here, right? But don't worry, I'll show you of a custom template that makes your process very, very easy. So this is my code here, right? And it's fine on all pages, as you can see. This is the content grouping tag that I showed you earlier in the video. You can see the page type key here, and the variable is using let me change this to the regex table that we created. Let me just change it to the table that we created. Regex table that we created, right? Then it's fine on DOM because I want my Microsoft tracking script to load first on the site, right? Then I have to save that, then preview, then you have to check for the tag. You have to check for the tag here, and you can see on DOM, which is here, it fired. So you can see that the content grouping fired on DOM. So you can see, if we look at the values, page type it returned home page, right? Now if I should go to another page, which is like the product page, for example, I go to the let's say I go to the category page, which is plants, for example, it should return the value for plants, so you can see collection. So you can see it says collection now. So that's just basically how you can implement this in Microsoft Clarity. So after you've done this implementation, how do you now use the data, which is the big question? How do you make use of the data? So I recently implemented this Microsoft Sandbox, and I've did some couple of tests in the Sandbox, like a test environment, right? I did some tests. So basically, you have to just wait for about, let's say, 15 to 45 minutes, or probably 1 hour, before the data will start flowing in. You can easily verify this from your Microsoft Clarity interface, right? So you have to just click on the filter here, right? You see there's a filter button here. You select today, you apply, and you go back, you click filter, then you click on the custom tag, you click on custom tag here, and you start seeing your custom tag here, right? For page type, you start pulling in, but because today, I just set up the site today, but the site was previously down, so I did some implementation previously. So let me just go back to the last 30 days, then apply that, and I go to the filters, then custom tag, page type, then you start seeing stuff here. Then you can select more than two if you want, or you can just select one. Then you can start looking at, for example, in the product page, we have about 4 sections. So I have to divide this stuff into 4 or 3. So there's the engagement, there's the user experience optimization, there's the acquisition, and so it's divided into 3 segments. So for these sections, I look at this as acquisition, right? Section, number of sections whereby the user has visited your product page, right? Then distinct users, 3, pages per section, 3.50. Then scroll depth, that this page in general as acquired is 49.64% averagely. The time spent, then the dead clicks. Now you can easily identify, my product page have about 25% get clicks, which means that people clicking and nothing really happened. Like they clicked on something that was supposed to probably take them to a different page, but nothing happened, right? Then rage click also, you can use this for looking at user experience optimization, right? Quick backs and all those stuff. Then for excessive scrolling also with user experience optimization. Then for engagement, you can look at things like page per sections, right? The JavaScript errors is also for user experience optimization. Then for acquisition, things like devices, browsers, operating system, the referrals, all fall into the acquisition. Popular pages also fall into engagement, but referrals, devices, operating system, browsers all fall into the aspect of acquisition. Then you can also take the same set filter here to the recording, where you can now see videos of people that did a particular stuff site. So you can watch a video based on their stuff. Then you can also see heat maps. Now in the heat map, you'll be seeing only the product pages, right? You see only the product pages. Then in the dashboard, you can turn this into a segment, right? You can turn it to a segment. All you have to just click on save as segment, save as new, give it a name, then you save it, then boom, you already have a segment that can now apply anytime you need it, right? So that's just basically how you can analyze this data in Microsoft Clarity, and you can now to show you the custom template that I was talking about earlier, which is the part that I can't wait to show you. So this is the custom template here. It's by Luratic, as you can see, it's by Luratic. This is a custom template by Luratic. It makes the process very, very easy. Then it also comes with a lot of cool features that you will love also. So you have to just go to templates. To add it, go to templates, right? You click on tag templates, click on search category, search gallery, right? Then it's going to take time to load. Then you have to once it loads, you search for that particular template, right? You click on your button here, you search that, you select Luratic, you add to your workspace, add, then you should now have that. Then you go to your tags, you click on new, then you'll be able to see it here. Then you can add your project ID, then you click on advanced options, boom, you can now add custom tags. It does a lot of stuff like fixing the GA4 integrations, customizing identifiers, like for example, you want to start pushing your own particular user ID, and also maybe your own page ID, your session ID, right? You can customize it. And also prioritizing specific sessions for recording, right? You can also specify if cookies should be set for privacy, right? This for privacy. Then also, this is for GDPR, which is really nice. I really recommend this this custom template, right? You put in your project ID here. You find it on all pages. Then you have to just select your content group here. So, for example, page type. Then just put in your project ID here, the value. Then you find on page views. Now you can now find it on page views, and everything is good to go. But first, you also have to delete. This base tracking script from Microsoft, so you won't have duplicate. You won't have any conflict issues actually. So that's just basically how to do that. How to set up content grouping in Microsoft Clarity. So let me know what you think of this video. Thank you for your time.